All right, guys. Whoa. Okay. So, all right, let's see. We're starting from today. Oh, we missed this guy, man, on the stream. All right, so let's get this guy done. So, which gold? Um, so adding one more, getting my US30 intact. Okay. All right, so we are almost set. Move everything down here. Okay, so yeah, we are set at the moment. All right, so where do we go from here? All right, guys, welcome to today's stream. So today is the 17th of May 2023, and it is our New York session with Mr. Wex. Yesterday was awesome. Today is a brand new session. Let's see how it goes. Personally, today I've actually not really had a lot of much time on my hands to pick trades during the London session. So all I've got is this New York. Uh, I actually closed my oil sell. I had a US oil trade running through the night. It was a sell. So when I saw a rejection at this point, so I just had to shut it down. It was a short-term trade anyways. So I missed this buy. What a nice buy. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Get things perspective. Okay. So so far we have not taken any trade yet. Okay. All right, so let's get music as usual. So let's get ourselves some nice cooling music to help us run through the session. All right. Okay, so guys, before that, let me start with US30 because most of the times we are gonna have volume by 1:30, and we are just 5 minutes away from 1:30 p.m. So let me do a quick analysis on what my expectations are on this bet. Of course. Okay, let's get it done. I want to congratulate those that held the pound USD sales. It did exactly as expected. It did break above, a break below. Sorry. I think at this point we should be seeing some correction. So I'm just gonna be switching between it here because yeah. So this was it. It did a nice drop and it's now correcting. So we'll come to that as well. So let's just stay with US30 for now and see what are our possibilities here. All right, so I'm just gonna be looking at a quick breakdown. So if you want to learn more on simple analysis like this, you really need to subscribe so that days I'm going to be having subscribers only session. We're going to be doing a lot of teaching during those sessions. So this is it. So we have a trend line. Remember, in this situation, we have a psychological level here, which price had rejected. That create a double bottom. This is on the 15 minutes time frame. So it pushed higher. This was a recent area of interest, which is basically a rejection point. So price has broken out of that area at this point, came back to retest, and it's now pushing higher. So this was a simple trade. If I was on board, I would have taken this trade. Bet minimal risks. Reason being that it wasn't yet time. My strategy is very simple. It has to do with supply and demand, volume time, and entry pattern. As simple as that. Supply and demand, volume time, and entry patterns. Then every other thing I'm adding are just additional stuff like maybe Fibonacci. That's it. And maybe sometimes moving average, which is the 200 EMA, just to find some confluence. That's basically it's a very simple strategy. You can see we are doing pure price action. All right. So enough of the banter. So basically, I would have taken this, but I missed it. So there's no point crying over a spilled milk. The question here is that what are we expecting next? So let's look at the 30 minutes time frame to have clarity. So the 30 minutes time frame, we can see that the bulls are still active. So let's quickly switch to the H1. So the H1 so far for the past 6 hours, there has been no bearish candle. There has been no bearish candle. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to rely on my trend line. So this is what I'm going to do, this H1 trend line. So I'm actually expecting price to react around this area. This is where I play with rejections. So basically, I'm expecting a reaction around that point. So for price to push further, react, hit the trend line, and drop. So therefore means that I am not going to be picking a buy. I'll wait to see if I'm going to get a push higher into this zone and into this imbalance right at this point. So let me just readjust and make use of the imbalance as at once so that it doesn't confuse some of us that are new to this system. So that's it right there. It's 1:30 and we are seeing some reaction here in the market. So of course this 15 minutes there is no trade, guys. There is no trade. So we can just go ahead. Maybe we are seeing a retest of this broken structure for price to push higher. So that's basically what I would be looking forward to. A retest of this broken structure, then price push higher. That's all. So I'm not picking any trade there. Gold is still dropping. So now there's opportunity for a sell here on gold, but for me, I wouldn't go in for this reason being that it is too close to my zone. So it's just about 32 pips or 30 pips or so away. And if you look at the risks, so let's do this. So if I were to pick this trade right here, of course, my least stop loss would be above the immediate candle. That would be my least stop loss. And where am I going to target? This is where I'm going to be targeting. And I don't like placing my take profit exactly on my line of interest. I like to give it some, depending on the pair. If it's US30, maybe like 15 pips away from that line, unless it's a psychological level. For gold, maybe like 5 pips away. So for that reason, that disqualifies me from picking this trade. It might continue dropping downwards, but as far as I'm concerned, this is the level I am expecting price to reject or react to. That is, if we switch, let's go to the 4 hour time frame. So you can see there are series of rejection at that level. So if I go further to the daily time frame, so you can see below that point of averaging, price drops and rejects, drops and close above. So series of candles closes above that point. So with reference to this equal close and open, that forms an average for me. So for that mere fact, I would not want to risk it. I don't want to look at a sharp drop and okay, I'm going for that tip. No. So I'll just give it a pass on this particular setup for what I'm explaining. So that's why I wouldn't go for this particular trade, even though it might sell. For me, the probability for it to sell is lower for me. So neither do I have a confirmation to buy. So I'm neither buying, neither am I selling that uh, the yellow metal at this point, because we can see price is still creating these lower highs and lower lows. So structure is still bearish, but target is too close. So for me, it's a pass on gold. But if I get a rejection here and maybe somewhat of a double bottom, then I would want to consider buying. Because in areas like this, you don't just buy with one bullish candle. You want to see double confirmations, maybe a bearish candle close, then a bullish candle, some price action, a retest of that structure for price to confirm bullish before you can now go for the bulls. So in situation like this, patience is very, very much required. So I don't really see myself picking any trade on gold, especially with regards to this live stream, because we might not have the time to stay all through to wait for maybe 4 or 5 hours for it to do what it has to do. Maybe somewhere along the line, give us a buy opportunity. So US30. So US30, though this candle has not closed, this is a 30 minutes candle. So apparently it has come to retest that trend line as I expected. So let's see if it's actually gonna break its own high. This current candle, its own high. So apparently if it breaks its own high and break the next candle's high, then there's a potential that is going to push higher into our sell zone. So if we have that potential and we get a rejection around this sell zone, then I wouldn't hesitate to sell. Then one thing I want us to note here is that, like I said, my strategy is very simple. It is supply and demand, volume time, and entry patterns. So basically, if at the close of this hour candle, this 30 minutes, so this is the last 30 minutes of this current hour. So if at the close of this hour candle, this candle closes this way, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a buy stop above the candle. That's what I'm going to do. If it closes bearish, I'm going to have a buy stop because it has given me a rejection on the trend line and on this area. So it's kind of giving me a signal that has grabbed the necessary liquidity to push higher into our zone. That is basically what it's going to communicate if it closes bearish. Then with that, I will have a buy stop with the idea that if it breaks its own high, or if the new candle breaks the previous candle's high, which is in this case this particular candle which is currently running, if the new candle breaks this high, That is in the case that this one closes bearish. If the new candle breaks this current candle's high, then there's a probability that price will push higher. So that is why I would have a buy stop. So we are just 6 minutes into this candle, so it is too early to make some conclusions. So I'm just going to be patient and wait maybe the last 6 minutes to the candle close, then we can decide if we need to go for a buy stop or still sit on our hands to see as price develops. So gold is still kind of dropping, but like I said, I've already done my explanation on gold. So now let's take this guy out. So at this point, you would want to consider pound USD. So let's take a critical look at what pound USD is doing. So I'm going to switch to the 30 minutes time frame. So on the 30 minutes time frame, so I would want to box out this range. So basically what price has done is retesting this area of accumulation. So basically, if we could see more bearish confirmation, then price should continue bearish. So that is it on GU. So I'm gonna be expecting price to retest its own low. So let's keep it simple. Yeah, so this obviously will be my target. So let's see. If it close around this area, that would be like 38 pips. So but for now, let's see how it goes. So because we can't conclude on what is happening until we see how this candle closes. All right, so since we have gone through the technical aspect, so let's take a look at the fundamental. So by 2:30 we'll be having some release, crude oil release on the USD. So basically it therefore means that there's some anticipation that there would be movement around that time. So we keep our fingers crossed and be patient. Patient is the name of the game. So let's see. Ooh, today everybody's green on the Dow. Everybody's green. About 80% of the guys are green. So our main guy, let's see our main guy. So our main guy is green as well. 1.77% up so far. Okay. So who are the guys there? Walmart, Apple, MacD. All right. So it looks more bullish than bearish. So that's why this kind of goes ahead to confirm our uh, technicals. So let's see how it goes. At any point in time, if of course if there are questions, you just drop in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and share the stream so that others can be a part of this community. Let's reckon the pips together. All right, so let's go for some music. Let's go for some music.
You should apply to start a battlefield because it's enough.
Go for some music. Okay, so it's still dropping. Wow. So that means if we did take the gold trade, we would have hit our take profit. It is what it is. We just stick to the plan, that's all. Yeah, of course, we did see that it has we did see that the berry structure is still intact, of course, on Go, but what made us not to pick this trade was basically the risk to reward, which is very, very important. So you don't want to pick a trade that you are not comfortable in it. You don't want to pick a trade that you are in the trade and you are very, very anxious just because you did not check your parameters before entering the trade. So it's a winning trade, but no, it's a trade that would have brought in profit, but it wouldn't have been a winning trade because for me some of the tick boxes in my plan was off, like I said. So if I'd gone in for that, I would have been risking 33 pips going for 32. That is wrong risk reward. So yeah, Nana, I see you, buddy. Yeah, joining us from Qatar. All right, what's the update on gold? So that's what we are saying right now, that our gold yesterday, we are already giving out a sell call on gold yesterday, which it did hit the target. So this was basically our target on gold as of yesterday. So we called this sell, a break of this to give us, so this was the trade we took live. So this was actually left for a swing. All right, so now overall on gold, let's see. Overall on gold, what is the expectation? So price has now tapped into that level with which I had anticipated, but right now we are seeing a little bit of a rejection. It is too early to confirm that this is M15, and we are 14 minutes to end this candle. So let me give you an overall overview of what I can see on gold right now. All right, so gold, let's start from the 4-hour time frame. It's always good to start from a higher time frame so that you can see a clearer picture. That is how come we had opportunity to give out that trade call, which yesterday I made mention of the levels here, 1, 2, and I was expecting the third level to clear this liquidity right here, which actually it has done. So now we have this area here to pay attention to. So at this point I'm going to pick this area. So this is the relevant zone for me on gold. If we have a close below this 1980.50 price, okay, and we have a sell, let me do this so that you kind of understand what I mean. If we have a break, okay, then we test here, then we have a sell confirmation. It therefore means that all this liquidity will be taken out. This rejection you are seeing will be taken out. Gold will continue downwards towards this 1953. But for buyers, I expect price to dance within this zone. That is my expectation. I expect price to dance within this zone, then give us some rejection for price to push higher, because this is a very valid zone in the sense that previously we can see that price has been testing that level or that zone, and it has actually not been able to kind of break below it. So we have, this is 4-hour time frame, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rejections in the zone. This was the very first time that we had a full body candle in the zone. And what happened? I'm sure a lot of people started selling because it gave gave a signal or an idea that this the zone is going to be taken out, and a lot of people might have placed their sell orders here. And what happened? Price shifted bullish. So for this reason, there's a high probability that this zone is a zone where we have to be very, very careful before we pick a trade within this zone. So for now, gold, just stay on the sideline. Unless you're a scalper, then I would say stay on the 15 minutes and catch the break and retest. But one thing is for sure, that you'll be caught unawares, because even though you're a scalper, to be a good scalper you need to understand what the higher time frame is doing for you to be able to trade successfully as a scalper, meaning that you'll be able to scalp in line with the trend, and you have few losses and more of the wins. So imagine I was on the M15 trying to pick trades. So this is what will happen. Look at this. So at this point I will be buying. So I have a rejection here. Price tries correcting, retest, gave me this, even breaks this high, leaves a continuation pattern right there, which is a doji. So the next moment, boys are buying. And what happened? They continued bearish because that is the trend. This was supposed to be tapped. That number is very, very important to the markets. So they had to reach back to that number. Alright. So if you were focusing on the 15 minutes, at this point you'll be buying. And here you go, you'll be losing. Maybe you see, okay, this is an opportunity. You buy and you're like, okay, the profit I've gotten here is not enough as compared to what I lost earlier. You want to stay in the trade and they shift the zone again against you. And you're like, okay, this is a divergence. It's a new opportunity to buy. It gives you this buy and you're happy. It reduces your profit and you're like, okay, then let me add more position. You keep adding position. What happens? They shift the zone 3 times against you and you keep losing more. So this is what I teach my students, but I'm giving you for free here. So that is some of the benefits when you come online to join us and we are in the free mode. We dish out information like never before. So that is it, Nana. Alright, so let's go back to our US30. Oh, so US30 has broken the trend line. So what vibe is it giving us right now? So let's see. So we still have about 7 minutes for this, 30 minutes to close. So therefore means that this actually was active. Because price has not closed above it. So they respected that zone right there. So let's see. What is GU? Oh, GU is already continuing the fall. Alright, Nana, you say you mostly trade using the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, it's good to use the 4-hour time frame, but it is very, very important to define the kind of trader you are or the type of trader you want to be. If you are a day trader, if you are a scalper, you are a swing trader, because I don't want to say a position trader because we have very few people who are position traders, and for you to be a position trader means that you have you have huge fund, right, which you can afford to make maybe 20% for a whole year and you'll be fine, right? So you just take a position, identify your direction, and you place your trade and let it run. Okay, so we retail traders, we fall between the category of a day trader, a swing trader, whatever aspect of it you want to call yourself or you want to fit in is cool. Whether you want to be an high frequency trader or a scalper or maybe a normal intraday trader, which I am. So GU has actually not given us a good opportunity. So the only opportunity we would have had here is if we had anticipated the sales earlier, we would have had a sell stop. But it is what it is. That was not on radar. So there is nothing we can do about that. We just wait and keep waiting. So gold is still doing its thing, it's still dipping into the zone. So on the 1 hour, it's still dipping into the zone. So like I said, the bears are still in control. The bears are still in control, guys. Serious volume coming in. And apparently the building permit. Okay. So we had building permit 12:30. So basically that is what has been holding down the volume, uh, uh, bringing in the volume for price to keep dropping. All right, so let's see. Building permits. So the previous was 1.4. So actual is 1.416. So there has been a drop in the number. Basically, price is just following the technicals. Price is just following technicals at this point. So our only chance, our bets could only be on US30. GU has left us unless probably it retraces and give us another opportunity. Then aside from that, there's nothing we can do. All right, so it's 2. So therefore means that there's a possibility that the sales will continue on US30. Now what I want to see is price push higher at least to 109, 33109. Then if I see a bit of rejection there on the lower time frame, then I will go for the sell. So for now I wouldn't jump into the sell because the last 30 minutes has been long. It's long, so you don't want to jump. It's not a swing trade, so you don't want to jump in. You don't want to risk 118 pips. You don't want to do that. So it means that if you are risking 118 pips, you need to target at least this psychological level, which is gonna give us 170 pips. So I wouldn't want to go for that. So let's look at the daily. So previous day was bearish. Okay. So that means there is a consensus to the left hand side, which is this bearish candle right there. So that could be a valid point of exit. So price retesting that low, the low of that candle. So which is even higher than this point, which this could be a point of reference. This area could be a point of reference. So basically it makes sense to go in for that point as our target. So let's be a little bit patient and see if we can get more correction before we decide to jump into the trade. So can we retest 3300? Because if we do, or if we can, then it will at least reduce our risk. So guys, remember there is a release in the next 27 minutes. There's going to be a release. So we still stay patient. Gold is doing more harm than good. It's still dropping. So GU is still going down. So we missed it. We missed it, man. So our only bet right now is US30. So let's see. Okay. So he's still pushing. So it's at that point of interest. So it's still correcting. So this is a 5 minutes. Yeah, we know how this guy behaves, so you don't have to just jump. Yeah. So you need to understand the pair you trade and follow it accordingly. Because if you don't, then many a times you're gonna find yourself one thing. Because imagine if we had entered a sell at this point, so therefore means that right now our eyes would be red, would be already negative 52, 53, and currently like negative 47 pips. So like I said, simple approach, keep it simple. So now gold is still within our zone, mind you, so we are still observing its behavior within the zone. So we are not an aggressive trader that would have said, okay, jump in for a buy. We want to catch the tails. No, we don't want to catch the tails. We want to trade. We don't want to gamble. So we are 22 minutes away from the news release. So I'm more expectant to see what is gonna happen to US30 when that news comes. So I'm just hoping we have a good setup so that probably we can have a sell stop, sorry, to wait for the market. Okay. So basically, on the 15 minutes, I actually retested this broken structure. Mm. So that one did skipped us. Okay. So let's see who's gonna give us the opportunity again. Let's see. There's absolutely nothing wrong with missing a trade. It is better to miss a trade than jump into a trade that will cost you. It is better to miss a trade than jump into a trade that will cost you. What a broad day light robbery. So US30 want to rob us in a broad daylight. Okay. So let's go back to the drawing board. Okay. Uh, if we were able to catch that, it would have been a nice one. Because that would have been 75 pips going for this, which would be around 112. Alright, so the market is still in session, so we're just going to be patient waiting for it. We are seeing series of corrections here. Alright, so we're still watching. So we are basically waiting for 230. So if by 230 there's no opportunity, then we will just have to round up the stream. Oh, all right. So basically, we have about 13 more minutes for that 1 hour candle, for that 30 minutes to close. So, and I think that's gonna be a done deal if it does. Of course, if the low of this previous candle is taken out, then no point, guys. Trust me, no point. So we got 11 minutes more to go. So at this point, there's no point waiting for this trade because it has already taken out the previous candle's low. So it went up to grab liquidity and now it's dropping. So unfortunately we missed this one right there. Let's take a look at the index. So the oil eventually came back downwards. All right. It's out of the equation. All right. $4 on gold, yeah. So like I said, I already made mention of this. We are looking forward for a reaction within the zone. Then we can probably look out for buys. But I made mention that you will have to be patient, especially on the M30 time frame. I prefer the M30 time frame for a more solid confirmation. You want to be patient to see this bullish, then maybe something like this. Unless this high, the immediate high here is taken out. That is the last high. So that is the last high. So if that high is being taken out, so let's say we have a strong buy, then we have a retest, a break, a retest, then we see a bullish confirmation. Then at that point you know that this is holding, then you can now look out for your buys. But if you don't see something of such and you are jumping in for the buys, yeah, at this point it will be rewarding for you to jump into it and you'll be making money. But trust me, it is not something you can easily repeat. In trading, you want to do something that is repeatable. You don't want to do a one-time thing that it just works for a time. So now the question is, how solid are you with regards to identifying the zone like this? I could have done this because I did this zone. I identified the zone for us, and I did kind of share my own thoughts with regards to this zone. So if I had wanted to take this back, I could have easily done that, just switch to M5, and there we go. So there was an opportunity right there. So you see, so I could have joined this buy right there. Okay, so trust me, it's better to wait. I'm not coming live this live stream to show us the wrong approach or show us what I don't do. So we're just trading the way we trade, and we learn together, guys. Seven minutes to the release of the news. So let's take a look at 15 minutes. So on the 15 minutes candle or time frame, so if I'm to pick a trade here, or to advise you to pick any trade, then the high of the previous candle would be our stop loss to help us manage risk. So if this candle, this particular 15 minutes closes this way, then I know that there's gonna be a bearish continuation. So I'll pick the trade and just use this high as my stop loss. So I'm gonna do this. So this is yep. So with this, I will go down to have 80 pips target while I'm risking 62. So I will be expecting price to break through here. So let's see how it goes. So towards the last 1 minute of this candle, if it's still pushing bullish, then I'm gonna have a sell stop. So let's stay alert. Gold is still pushing higher. Remember, this is a 5 minutes time frame, so I wanted to show us that there was an opportunity to take this buy, but it's always better to stick to what works for you. Alright, so let's stay focused on US30 and see. GU is equally giving this correction. Alright, so we go back to the M30. Alright, so we have 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. Alright. 2 minutes to go. All right, so let's see. So gold is still dancing right there. So like I said, gold, we want to see price trade back downward, give us another rejection, then we can now go in for the buys. So basically I know for sure it's not going to happen within this stream. So in case you are trading afterwards, just check out for that kind of setup. So GU is still not giving us something to go for. Alright, so it's 1:30 right here, and the new 30 minutes candle is up. Now this did not close the way I expected, so we can see right there, this is the 15 minutes time frame. I wanted to see this candle close a little bit as a rejection for me to know that the highs have been rejected, then I can look out for a sell stop to go bearish. The way it's closing is not giving me that confirmation to go in for a sell stop, because it has not given me an entry pattern which I should go in for an instant execution. So the conditions for me to have a sell stop is not also present. So if I go in for a sell stop right now, it's gonna be a 50-50 setup. So let's just relax and see how the first 5 minutes closes. So we have a candle here that did reject at this point. Remember, this zone is a zone, our area of entry. That is a breaking structure, a retest of that point. So let's see. Let's look at, so on the hourly we are still bearish. So the previous candle closed as a bearish rejection, and this is the zone with which we were looking at for a rejection, which it actually did. So now we are trying to look out for confirmation to join the sells. So this is 15 minutes candle. So if this closes bearish, then it will be a good opportunity depending on how it closes, because if it's a long sell, then for me it would be a missed trade even if it continues selling, because I like to have minimal risks then maximum reward. So US30 is still giving us that selling vibe. So let me see. It's giving that selling vibe. So this is the 5 minutes, 15 minutes. So trust me guys, at this point the market is confused, because we had a double bottom right here pushing price higher. Now we have a rejection at this point, right? So price did rejected here previously, so price also rejecting there again. So this is it right here. So we had a rejection here previously, that should be yesterday, and price is rejecting at that same area today. Then we saw this nice drop. Now of course, what is happening right now, we have had a retest of this point, of this zone here, a breaking structure, a retest, but no confirmation for sales, no confirmation for sales. So, and I'm not going to take a 50-50 trade unless of course I have some confirmation that aligns with my system. So though I'm positive on the sell, but the confirmation is yet to present itself. So we're just gonna wait a little bit to see. Gold, we do not have any opportunity. Pound USD, I'm still looking out for sell, but I want to see how it closes in case we would have a confirmation before I can confirm the sells. So far, no trade today. Let's drop our comment in the comment section. All right, so no good opportunity. Yeah, so all right guys, so far no good opportunity, no good opportunity. So we did miss the first opportunity, which we could have grabbed in some trades. We actually didn't take the gold sell. We did see it, but based on risk reward, we didn't take it. So we have about 6 minutes for this M15 to close. So the M15 is basically flipping bullish, flipping bearish. It's uncertain of where it should go. Ooh. So we are still patiently waiting. So in the next 20 minutes, we'll be wrapping up this stream if there is no setup. So let's give it a little bit of time till 3 p.m. GMT. Let's see. All right. We keep waiting. So let's see. 84. So USD is still showing indication for sales, though it's still uncertain. So we have 3 minutes more for this 15 minutes to close. So let's see. right, right, all right. Yeah, so we're still patiently waiting. It's still giving us the sell vibe anyways. So basically, if it closes bearish with some flesh in it, then we'll look out for a sell stop. So we're gonna have a sell stop right here. So with our SR right there, okay, so new 15 minutes is out. And this is the last 15 minutes of this hour. So we're looking at this structure to be taken out again, then it will confirm that it might continue downwards. So this candle here, so if it takes it out, then it triggers our sell stop. That's it. So we are risking, so this happens to be the only trade we might be taking for today. So let's look at the risk. It's a sell stop. It's a sell stop, guy. Look at, identify this candle on your chart. This is the 15 minutes time frame. This bearish candle, below it is your sell stop. So if that liquidity is taken out once again, there's a high probability that it will drop. But of course, it's a sell stop, guys. So meaning we are risking about 40 pips, and we should be going for a retest here. So we're going for 97 pips. So that is about 1:2.01 or so. So we're going for that sell stop. So let's see how it goes. If by 3 we don't have something solid, then we are canceling our sell stop and we call it a day. We come back tomorrow strong. So let's, all right, so no, so this will be a break-even point. So that's what we are expecting. So break-even when it's 40 to 50 pips, we break even. So now it has taken out and we are now in a trade. So let's see how it goes, guys. We are just 3 minutes in, we are in the trade now, guys. Right, so let's see. right. So let's see how it goes, guys. Oh, so 10 minutes to go for this hour to end. Don't forget to smash that like button and share if you have learned something. It's all about learning, so let's update our this. It's all about your risk reward, being patient. So at this point, if at the end of the day this trade tends to be a loss, there are no regrets because we are patiently waiting. We followed a lot of things to get to this point. So currently we're in a drawdown. Okay. So I think the GU traders, they now have an opportunity they have opportunity to like tap in for themselves. Just want to see if price is gonna retest. Yeah. So that is for the GU traders. So basically, you are risking 21 pips and you're going for 37 pips. So basically, almost 39 pips. So you're already sitting in some profit right there. So that is for the GU guys. So alright, so US30, we are still in it. So let's see. Alright, so let's go back to the bad guys. So the billboard is still more of the bulls. So let's look at what is my key guy saying. So we have 6 more minutes to go for that candle to close. So let's see. All right. So we have 5 minutes to go for that candle to close. We are still on the 15 minutes time frame. So let's look at the 30 minutes. So this is how the 30 minutes is currently looking at the moment. So we are counting on this zone to give us that green bubble pips. So let's see if it's gonna do just as expected. Remember, we are risking just 40 pips and we are going for about 97, while we are looking at breaking even or partial close at around 40 to 50 pips. We about to negative. So we have 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. So let's see. It's getting massive. So just have 2 minutes to go and the candle is not funny. Two minutes to go and the candle is behaving funny. Alright, so let's see. So this is how the M15 is. Let's see if we have any. All right, so let's see. We are still in the red zone. 1 minute to go. Now with the build up, it's a bit scary if it's actually gonna go bearish. But of course, this particular trade, this is our only trade for today. So and it's a minimal risk trade. So of course, risking just about 40 pips. So we are. So the new candle is up and it's not too good. So basically at this point, the previous candle closed bullish, so we just have to cut our loss at this point on this particular trade. So we're going to cut our loss because the last M30 or M15 closed bullish. So and it has tapped the high of this zone that we drew. So the best thing to do is just to cut our loss. So looking at the current price action, then price is likely gonna push higher. So we have taken 1L, so that should be it for the day. So we'll come back tomorrow and see what the market has for us. So basically we keep it simple, just trading price action. All right guys, see you guys tomorrow in our New York live stream tomorrow, God willing. Peace.